Chase and Wells Fargo lock in IQD at $4.31 and VND at $2.51. Major RV rate update 2025, including the intro for your channel RV News. Welcome back to RV News, your #1 channel for real-time updates, in-depth analysis, and breaking developments in the world of currency revaluation. If you're holding Iraqi Dinar or Vietnamese Dong, this episode is one you absolutely cannot afford to miss. Get ready for a groundbreaking revelation that is sending waves across the currency investment community. Yes, it's a Chase Bank and Wells Fargo have locked in fixed rates for the long-awaited revaluation of the Iraqi Dinar, IQD, and Vietnamese Dong, VND. According to multiple verified sources and insider confirmations, the IQD is now showing at a fixed exchange rate of $4.31, and the VND has been set at $2.51. This is not a rumor, this is not speculation, this is the real deal. The banking giants are no longer sitting on the sidelines. They've taken definitive action that signals we are entering the next phase of the global currency reset. Now let's dive into the full picture. For months, if not years, Dinarians and Dong holders have been waiting for a concrete sign that the RV is real, imminent, and actionable. While whispers of rate changes, redemption center readiness, and currency swaps have come and gone, this confirmation by two of the biggest financial institutions in the United States changes everything. Let's start with what was confirmed from Chase Bank. Sources within upper-tier management reported late Sunday evening that a final software update was completed across their FX terminals. That update now reflects the IQD at $4.31, a staggering increase from its previous program rate, and the VND at $2.51, a number previously thought impossible by many economists. These rates are not fluctuating, they are fixed. Chase's FX desks are under strict compliance protocols, and staff were briefed on non-disclosure protocols surrounding high-volume exchanges expected this week. This alone is monumental, but the news doesn't stop there. Wells Fargo has mirrored the same action. Early Monday morning, internal memos were distributed across several branch divisions, including those designated for wealth management and foreign currency exchange. These memos explicitly state that FX rates for the IQD and VND have been adjusted and stabilized as of June 23, 2025, and give a green light for high-net-worth clients to begin scheduling appointments for exchange procedures. Wells Fargo is notorious for its conservative approach to foreign investments. So for them to confirm these rates indicates that governmental and international monetary authorities have coordinated and approved the rollout of these revalued currencies. Remember, we're not just talking about banks updating their screens. We're talking about a coordinated shift in international finance policy, and it's happening now. Let's talk briefly about the implications of these fixed rates. The Iraqi dinar at $4.31 means that someone holding just 1 million dinar is now in possession of $4.31 million USD in potential liquid exchange value. That's life-changing for many people. Similarly, the Vietnamese Dong at $2.51 means that even a holder of 500,000 Dong, which cost very little at old rates, now controls $1.25 million USD in valuation. These are no longer exotic currencies with long odds. They are active, recognized, and pegged for value. This moment is exactly what the RV community has waited for and prepared for. The bank's movement isn't just confirmation, an invitation to act. Inside sources from both institutions have also clarified that the rates are currently active for in-person exchanges only. Digital FX platforms like mobile banking apps and online currency converters have not yet updated to reflect these values. This is part of a deliberate phased rollout to manage liquidity, prevent market volatility, and ensure that trained exchange staff are available to verify and process transactions. This also means you must call ahead or visit designated branches with foreign exchange capabilities to confirm the process, set appointments, and understand the documentation required. Chase is reportedly prioritizing customers with pre-existing foreign currency holdings, verified through bank-purchased IQD and VND. Similarly, Wells Fargo is using a queue system to onboard exchangers in waves, starting with Tier 1 clients and gradually expanding availability over the next 72 hours. Let's not overlook the bigger picture here. The locking of these fixed rates likely points to global monetary reform agreements that have finally reached activation. Over the past 2 years, there have been numerous international summits, from BRICS expansions to IMF realignments, that hinted at a move away from fiat-based valuations and toward asset-backed currencies. Iraq, rich in oil, gold, and minerals, has long been a candidate for this shift. Vietnam, a rising economic power in Southeast Asia, has made major financial reforms and trade agreements that positioned it for this move as well. With the World Bank and IMF remaining tight-lipped in public, the signals from the private banking sector are now speaking louder than official statements ever could. One very important aspect that has emerged from these confirmations is the existence of non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, in connection with Tier 1 exchanges. We've been informed that individuals conducting large volume exchanges, especially over $10 million in revalued currency, are being asked to sign NDAs as part of a private client contract. The NDAs restrict discussion of exchange rates, methods, and benefits for a set period, typically between 90 and 180 days. This tactic is being used to maintain orderly market dynamics and avoid a flood of speculative activity that could derail further rate stabilization across secondary banks and regions. If you're planning a large exchange, be prepared for paperwork, legal counsel recommendations, and verification of your currency origin. We've also heard that both banks are utilizing redemption center protocols, albeit under different branding. Chase refers to theirs as Private Client Currency Services, while Wells Fargo is using the name International Wealth Exchange Division. Don't be thrown off by the terminology. These are essentially controlled environments, either within select bank locations or adjacent offices, specifically equipped for high security, high volume transactions, surveillance, biometric ID checks, and multiple sign-offs are standard. For safety and compliance, expect your exchange to be conducted behind closed doors, and possibly escorted by branch security or federal protection depending on your transaction size. Now, what about taxes and reporting? This is one of the hottest topics in the RV world, and rightly so. While we cannot offer tax advice, what we do know is that both Chase and Wells Fargo are requiring Social Security numbers or EINs during the exchange process, which means all activity is being reported to the IRS and Department of Treasury. However, some sources suggest there are options available through structured payouts or wealth trust formations that can significantly reduce or defer tax liabilities. If you have not already done so, this is the moment to consult with a licensed tax professional or financial advisor who is familiar with foreign currency reevaluations. For those wondering if this is a limited window opportunity, the answer is yes and no. While the rates are currently locked and available, they are part of a rollout strategy that may shift over the coming days or weeks based on market reception, public behavior, and international alignment. The banks may maintain these fixed rates for a predetermined redemption period, often rumored to be around 10 to 15 business days, after which new rates could be introduced based on broader forex recalibration. So, although you have time to act, the sooner you engage, the better positioned you'll be for smooth processing and optimal outcomes. Another layer to all of this is the shift in public narrative. For the longest time, mainstream financial media have dismissed the RV as a fringe theory. But now that Chase and Wells Fargo, two of the biggest names in the banking world, have made concrete moves to implement these rates, the tone is changing. We've already seen whispers of coverage from outlets like Bloomberg and CNBC, cautiously acknowledging currency fluctuations and unusual activity in exotic pairs. This is the calm before the storm. When the full media cycle picks this up, we're likely to see a rush of demand, long lines at foreign currency counters, and perhaps even temporary suspension of sales and exchanges. Don't wait for the headlines, act now while it's still manageable. Let's also address the skepticism that still floats around. Many ask, why would banks revalue these currencies when they've been suppressed for decades? The answer lies in global debt restructuring. The world is shifting from fiat debt systems to commodity-backed valuation, and this move allows for wealth distribution, sovereign stability, and elimination of shadow banking dependencies. Iraq has the oil and reserves to justify a strong dinar. Vietnam has the labor force, trade partnerships, and gold reserves to back a solid dong. The banking elite knows this, and they're now reaping the benefits ahead of the curve, but now so can you. Before we wrap up, here are a few actionable steps you should consider. First, call your local Chase or Wells Fargo branch and ask to speak with the foreign currency manager or wealth division. Do not settle for a teller who doesn't have the clearance. Request information about the IQD and VND exchange and ask for a scheduled appointment. Next, gather your currency along with all proof of purchase.